What is up, everyone? Welcome to episode 89 of the Learn and Become podcast. Today is February 14th, which means it is Valentine's Day. And in this episode, we're going to talk about what is Valentine's Day and how it came to be. Where did it came from? And I'm sure you're going to be surprised that it doesn't have a lot to do, at least not in the first moment, with just like dating couples in love and stuff. So let's dive deep into what is Valentine's Day. So to start with, Valentine was a person. So a person that was actually a priest, a person that worked at the church. So we have like pastors, fathers, popes, priests. They're responsible for the church. Usually they're responsible to organize the service. And Valentine was a priest. Even so that he was known, or he's known nowadays as Saint Valentine. And his story is from the years like 250, 60s, 70s, and his death was either in 269 or in 270, one of those. And it's very interesting that his initial, like what made him known as the saint of love, if we can put it that way, was that he was following what he believed God led him to do. He was bringing together couples that were willing to get married through a very difficult time in the empire where they lived. So we're talking about Rome. Excuse me. And right now it's late at night. It's not super late, but I'm recording the episode today late because I didn't have the time to do it earlier. And as you can tell, I'm kind of sleepy, but I don't want to skip recording it because you guys deserve it. And we have a commitment to post an episode every week for you. All that to apologize for my but with that in mind, we're talking about Rome, the ancient Rome, and there was an emperor called Claudius II, which history tells us he was a very severe, very crazy person. So much so that, if I'm not mistaken, his reign lasted only 2 years, I think, from 268 to 270. And he went to many wars. And as you can imagine, war is expensive. So if you are the ruler of a nation and you go to many wars, you will spend a lot of resources, a lot of money. You lose a lot of people. People will die. And you need more soldiers, which means you need to invest again in more people. More, I don't know if they had training back then, but probably so, more training. And all of it makes war expensive. And he went to many wars, which of course caused him to lose lots of soldiers. And he decided to hire more soldiers, which wasn't actually like hire. It was more like bring people into his army. It was almost like was inviting people to join the army. And nobody wanted to go because, as I mentioned, he was a very crazy person that went to all of the wars. And the soldiers knew it. They saw the military force going away and never coming back, or coming back after a very long time. And as you can tell, if you have somebody you love, you don't want to be away from the people, you love. And seeing that, realizing that people did not want to be near by the people near, let me rephrase it. Noticing that people didn't want to sign up to the army, they didn't want to go and become a military because of the sacrifice it would require from them, of being away from home, traveling, going to many wars, even like possibly dying for the cause, made most of them, or a lot of them, not to be willing to go. They didn't want to go because it wasn't interesting, it wasn't nice. And seeing that and noticing, realizing that most of the people that didn't want to go because they have a loved one, they had family, they had people they loved. The Emperor Claudius decided to ban all of the marriages. He said it's prohibited to get married now in my empire, which means nobody could get married. So think about it. Lots of young couples that had been dating each other, or that they didn't date the way we do nowadays. That was probably like talking to each other for a while, and they were like really hoping to engage, to get married, and to start a life together. They saw their plans frustrated. They saw their plans just going down the pipe. That was something they were really hoping for, that instantly became impossible because the emperor prohibited marriages in all forms. And because of that, the priest Valentine took some actions on his own. So he decided to continue getting, like, marrying people or performing wedding ceremonies. They were like secret ceremonies, but he decided to continue doing it because he knew that was, or he believed that was the will of God for him to do. And he did it for a while, performing secret marriages and just bringing people together in into a marriage relationship secretly. And when the emperor found out, you can imagine what happened, right? He got very mad, especially being a very crazy, intense person as he was. He sent out a message, where he sent his people to get him arrested, and they got him arrested. And his sentence was death, but it wasn't right away. It seems like he stayed in prison for a while, and while being there, he wrote a letter. Like they decided when was his death gonna be, and they told him, and his last wish was to write a letter to a woman he loved. So he wrote a beautiful letter to this woman, and on February 14th, his death sentence took place, and they killed him because he was getting people together into marriage illegally because the emperor has banned that. And because of that, we celebrate nowadays Valentine's Day, which is kind of weird because a lot of people that celebrate it does, I mean, don't get me wrong, a lot of people do have the intention to get married, but a lot of them don't. It's just like, I want to date forever, or I want to date while it lasts, or I'm just enjoying this moment. But Valentine was all into real marriage, covenant, like from now to eternity type of marriage. And he even died because of it, so that people would have the ability to continue getting married and to being close to the ones they love. And that's how the story of Valentine goes. And if you are celebrating Valentine's Day with somebody you love, happy Valentine's Day. If you don't have a person to celebrate it with yet, wait. Just be patient. Your time is going to come. And guess that's it. So today we have a quicker, shorter episode with this story about Valentine's Day. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have any questions, please let us know. Thank you very much. Happy Valentine's Day, and I'm going to see you guys in the next one.